DL men are good at gaslighting you because they are good at gaslighting and lying to themselves. DL men know how to manipulate in a specific kind of way because they have been doing it for so long. And believe it or not, they are not just manipulating you. They think they are getting away with manipulating everyone around them by getting everyone to think that they are straight and not gay, or at the very least bisexual. So they are doing this to everyone around them. Nothing about these DL men is true, and it bleeds into the rest of their lives, not just their sexuality. When you get so used to just looking people in the eyes and lying to them and gaslighting them, they are toxic. And if you can leave, get out of there. The ways that they manipulate, this is coming from someone who used to be DL and who has unfortunately had their fair share of run-ins with DL men. You learn from such a young age how to get people to think the way we want you to think, right? So when you're at home and you're not getting validation from your parents because maybe there's emotional trauma and religious trauma, so they're not accepting you for just being who you are, you're going to then go and look for this validation in other places like school. But if you're getting made fun of in school, well, and you're not getting validated there, what happens? You start to become who your parents want you to be. You try to look for validation in anywhere and any which way that you possibly can. So one of the ways that you'll switch up and start to slowly regress into the closet when people are calling you this and calling you gay at a very young age is, like, for me, I created rumors that I was getting with girls just to get those rumors and get people off my back. So that's what happens, like certain ways that you learn how to manipulate people and you start rumors. That was me in school. I grew out of that. What is scary is that, and diabolical, that these men take that into their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. They get married to women. They have children with women. You guys know, if you are suspecting your partner to be DL and things are not aligning, things don't make sense, they could be manipulating that out of you and you could not know. It just starts at such an early age where you are just looking for acceptance as a kid, and that comes with manipulating people's thoughts and what you want them to think about you. But in order to manipulate the way they do, you have to have experience. You have to have that experience. I remember dealing with a DL man, and he said to me, once I called him out on some of his BS, I call this two lies and a truth. So a good way to manipulate in any situation is releasing a truth, and then it's lie, 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 lie. So what he did was he kind of made it something where it's made him seem self-aware and said, listen, I know everyone thinks I'm gay. I've been getting called gay my whole entire life. I understand that. I know that. So now I think, like, I'm like, okay, kind of got on, because I'm like, that's a truth I could get behind because everyone, we know. And then he goes on, but I can't be gay. I don't like butt stuff. There's no way that I could be gay. And then goes on a whole tangent of him and how he's not gay, where it sounded like he wasn't trying to convince me. He was trying to convince himself. But again, if I wasn't aware enough of how he was starting to operate, or how these manipulation tactics in people start to work, that is a great way to manipulate. Release the truth and then lie, 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 lie. And with this specific person, I remember going home and thinking about some conversations and being like, how? This doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. But he said this because that's the truth. This is the truth. But this doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. It's a great way to manipulate and keep you confused so they can have control over you and your emotions. That is exactly what these tactics are. The bedrock of a narcissist and a DL man is paranoia, and it's being paranoid that other people are going to figure them out in their toxic ways, figure them out that they're hooking up with men behind everyone's back and not being truthful, using those men, using you to cover up that they are hooking up with men and that they are actually attracted to men. I'm telling you, it's diabolical, the ways that they manipulate. They are good at gaslighting you, because they are good at gaslighting themselves.